50% of the illnesses worldwide are caused or aggravated by polluted indoor air. The American College of Allergy, the American College of Allergists, and some of the most important researchers in the world have said that indoor air is amongst the top 5 most significant dangers to the American public. Think about that. The air that we're breathing inside of our home is in the top 5 most significant dangers to the American public. Why? Because we breathe 11,000 liters of air a day. If you are what you eat and you are what you drink, as you had hinted, Brian, at the beginning of this episode, you are what you eat, you are what you drink. Well, if you're breathing 11,000 liters of air a day, shouldn't it be pretty important, the air that you're breathing? Shouldn't it be pretty good quality? So we've gone and we've dived into the research and now started to understand that our houses are literally making us sick. It's what's known as sick building syndrome, because everything that you bring into the house, it off gases, from the mattress to the furniture to the varnish to the wood frames to the glues to the sterilines inside of the carpets. Every single thing that you bring into your house is literally a life or death decision, just like everything you put into your mouth is a life or death decision, right? How easy it is to have an apple a day, but we go out and we get a fried cheesecake, we get a fried cheesesteak, we get the Pepsi instead of the water, and before you know it, we're starting to get inflamed. And anybody who's dug in deep enough, inflammation is the start of all diseases in the body. I learned at a very, very young age that there are only two things that cause disease in the body. It's either a toxic external environment or a toxic internal environment. It's those two things, nothing else. You won't get cancer from anything else. Toxic internal, toxic external. So if we're breathing good, clean air and we're watching the water that's coming into our house, a good free source for all of your listeners out there, go to ewg.org/tap water. It's a free database. Type in your zip code and see what's lurking in your water. So the next time that you're thinking about just hopping in the shower and saying everything's it's onky, everything's good, it's good, not good, it's not good. But we don't want to be doom and gloom. So what we want to do is we want to bring attention to where we can, right? Geoengineering, things like that are happening outside that are now getting into our homes. I had a buddy of mine the other day. He's a great friend, great pilot. He's like, geoengineering. And he goes, that's just fabricated. He goes, they don't do it. I try to shut people down when they immediately start talking about chemical trails and chemtrails. I say, let's call it what it is. It's geoengineering. There's if you go on DuckDuckGo, I pulled it up here specifically for your show. You could look up patents for A01G15, and that will show you 687 patents for methods of influencing weather conditions. And I'm like one of those people where I believe if there's a patent that's filed, then it must be something that is being used, right? Like you don't file a patent for a 5.1 surround sound system and then shelf it and be like, nobody's listening to the radio. So everything that air, water, healing became was what I knew inside. We had to have clean air. We had to have good, clean water, and we had to bring together some of the best supplements in the world to give the body the support that it needs to heal, because true healing can happen when you start looking at what God put on earth: plants, raw materials, herbs, milk thistles. 125 years ago, that's how everybody was getting healed. Everybody was going and seeing the Chinese witch doctor that they've now been deemed, and they were like, hey, how can I use milk thistle to help reverse my respiratory issue? How can I use oregano as a natural antibiotic? That stuff has been so hidden and so suppressed.